to officially welcome you guys. Okay, you should be the one welcoming me because I've come in a little bit late, but I was supposed to come in earlier, just that I had a very tight schedule. I tried fixing time, I couldn't make it. Yeah, but then I'm glad that I can finally join you where I will be available. I'll be able to contribute. Yeah, and I hope you guys are finding this fun because it's really an interesting thing to do. Me personally, my journey with websites, I think started as far as I think 2013, when I got so much intrigued in how these websites work and stuff like that. So I just kept on pushing myself, learning a few things here and there, but I never regret uh, being part of my skills that I'm actually having, because when you do, you can do a lot more with whatever. If you have this knowledge, there's just very many different ways on how you can express yourself, not just having code, but it's just your imagination that can just limit you. Yeah, so I encourage all of us to take this and try to learn more. Yeah, today no, unlike then when we started coding, I think by that time Androids phone stuff like that was really a hassle, like not like this time where devices now are kind of becoming cheaper. Then like we just had to go to internet cafes trying to look for places where you can access a computer and stuff like that. But then now we can actually do a lot with the devices that we have. Each of us at least has, as I'm speaking, has a small computer or a big computer that they're actually working on. Even though it's a phone, it's a computer. Yeah. So for those who cannot access a laptop or find a little bit hard to access a laptop, and also those who have laptops but would wonder how can they use their phones to actually code websites. It's actually possible within this era. So I'm just going to do a few ways in which you can actually go ahead and create your website using your Android phone. Yeah, it's the same thing for those guys using iOS. Yeah, just to, for those of you who have iPhones may think that, hey, I think this is only for Android. No. Yeah. So all you need is a code editor. It's just as simple as that. You just need a code editor. You just need an application that understands code. That's what you need. Yeah, so I'm going to show you different ways. Let me just share my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, and yeah, there are many different apps that can actually help you code. I will just show you some in a few. Just a minute. Yeah, just yeah. Actually, this is the page. That they are actually different. All these are great editors. There's one called Decoder, and then this also this one, and this Quick Edit. There's a Unwriter. It's a free version. There's also this one. There's Turbo Editor, and then Droid Editor. There are many code editors out there that actually do this kind of work. But in all of them, there's one that really I normally like to use, or I would highly recommend because of the features I'm going to show you. It's called Acode. This one, Acode has a lot of magnificent features within itself. which one of the most interesting thing is that you can actually run your code within the application itself. So for example, I have this site. I just created it just today. It's just a simple site, but I can go ahead and try to press this play button like that, and then it tells me, do you want to preview in a browser or in an app? So I can actually browse within the app itself, and you can see it's just a page. It's a simple page. I've just put my image and yeah, stuff like that, and then I can close it, or I can actually open in a browser. Yeah, so that's one of the good features within this app. And also you can actually go ahead and connect and push your code as you're coding. You can actually push your code to GitHub. Yeah, and most of the apps there are some that have good features, and then but then I just like this one because of its simplicity. It is so simple. So I'm going to show you how to actually set it up. One of the first things that you need to do, you need to go to your Play Store and then search for a code. A code. It's here. So for my case, it's actually installed already, and you can actually, if you don't have it, you just search for it and then install it, and then after that, you can actually, after installing it, you navigate over uh, to your file manager. For my case, my file manager is actually here. So under my file manager, I go and then create a folder that I'm going to work with. For my case, I had actually created a folder already, which is called my website, but I'm going to create another folder that I show you. So I can just come to create another folder. I can give it another name, maybe website one. Then I hit on create. So whatever I'm going to work with, just like a PC on how you've been working with one folder, then you put all your resources in that folder. This is the folder that you're actually going to work with. And actually the beauty with this is that after creating your website, you can actually move your folder to a real laptop or a computer, and then you transfer it there, and then you start working from it. So I've created my folder. My working folder is called website one. It's just empty, as you can see. So let me just do now. When you open your code editor, it doesn't need you to sign in and stuff like that. That's why I actually recommend this code editor, because some of them will require you to sign in, but then this one, just open it and start straight away working. So I'll first go to this page. Let me first remove all this. Yeah. So initially you just have a blank page like this. So you want to start working with this page. Or let me first close this, and then I close that too. So I'll just have something like this when I open the app. So first thing, you go to where the three dots are, and then you come to save as. Now it tells you to select a folder. Now this folder that you're going to select is going to be your working folder, the folder that you're going to be working from. So just go ahead and click on select folder. Then I go back to internal memory, internal storage. Then I look for my folder that I've just created. It's website one, and then I say save here. So under save here, I can give it a name, maybe my website. Let me say website, or let me just give it native name. Let me just give it my index folder, my index file. Then .html. I'll just click OK, and there you go. It has created my folder, my file. It's within that folder, and I can start coding from here. So for example, if I start from maybe HTML, and then you see it understands all these tags. So I can just click on this, and then, for example, let me just do this. Um, if I if I click on HTML5, yeah, I can start coding from here. So just in case I maybe need a paragraph here, I can go ahead and maybe type paragraph, just P and so maybe this is my page. So if I click on to, I need first save this file. Then after saving it, it updates. Then I run it and run it in a browser. And you can see, here you go. I have my page displaying. So I can go ahead and change whatever I want in here. So I'll just go to my code that I already created. Just a minute. Oh, that's the, close it. And then the first website I worked with was actually in here, and it was in my index folder. It opens in my app. So I have this file. This file is, it's this website that I was telling you. It's just a simple page. I just put in my details and then the picture and then stuff like that. But then just going back a little bit, you can see that things actually I don't know whether you've already covered these some of these tags, but I know if you haven't, you're going to cover them. And for example, let me try to change some content here, and you see how it changes. Let me maybe say I want this one to be, I will maybe go, then about myself, and yeah, let me first save this. I save, then I run it in the browser, and you can see it's actually changing. So whatever you're doing, this image, now when you're dealing with the website, you need to first make sure that whatever your resources are, you put them in a folder that you can actually access. So for this case, my image is actually in my working folder. So if I actually go back to where my thing is, you see that there's an image called Adrian.jpg. And if I go to my code, for example, if I go to my code, my image actually sourced it from here. Yeah. So it's actually very possible to work with your phone as you're coding. And yeah, I don't know if any of you has a question in relation to this. So as we are working, you can actually be following up. Anyone with a question?
Okay, I think maybe they don't have questions. Anyone wants to ask? Okay, thank you so much for that, Mr. Adrian. Very many people were asking how you can code with your phone. Yeah, I guess you can see there are very many different apps that you can use, but now we have showed you one that we can recommend according to the features that it provides. So you can learn how to develop websites using your phone. And again, you can even try it. You can try it out, and also you can transfer that folder to the PC, then you continue working with it. Then you can move it back and forth. Yeah, so I hope that was very helpful to most of you because you were requesting for it. So it's not going to be too long because we've already used 30 minutes, but they were very important because we needed that. Yeah, so let me share my screen and we get started. Okay, I hope you can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Yeah, so today we are going to cover HTML forms. Yeah, So HTML forms, there is a point where almost now every website, you see that it requires you to enter some information, whether you're logging in to that site, and it requires you to enter your username, email address, maybe the password as you're creating an account. Even if it's not about logging in, maybe you're signing up for something or for newsletter and it is asking for email address. So HTML forms are used to collect data from the user. Yeah, so that data is collected by the person designing the website, then it can be used accordingly. Maybe you're collecting information from people about, just imagine it's a system designed on the website or running on the web browser, but it registers people with national IDs. So you're going to collect all their information, then you save it to a certain database. Yeah, then you're able to issue out a national ID. So HTML forms are very, very important. Every time you visit a website and it is requesting you for some information and you're the one inputting, that is HTML forms. Yeah, so I have, this is a skeleton HTML like template we agreed about, where you need this doc type, then you have this HTML tag, then you have the head tag. Yeah, now these meta tags, we shall cover them later on when we reach on CSS. That is on Monday. Yeah, you already know about the title tag, so I can call it HTML. I can call this HTML tags, forms. Yeah, then I have my body and it is empty. Then where I'm going to run it, I'm going to be running it on here. This is where I'm going to be seeing my results. I'm going to use Edge. Yeah, so now let's get started. Yeah, so HTML forms. HTML forms, you're going to, they are the combination of different tags that are involved as you coming up with HTML forms, but the top tag is called form tag. Yeah, so whichever you're writing within the HTML form should be between the form tag. Yeah, so some of the things that you can write in the form tag include, there's what they call a text box where someone types in the information. Yeah, so one of the tags that does that is called input. Yeah, the input tag. If I save this and I come and check on my website, you can see that there is a box. There is a box which is drawn where I can type, like here. Yeah, so that's what input tag does. It doesn't need to be crossed. It's one of the tags that don't need to be crossed, just like the image tag. Yeah, but it takes different attributes. Then another one could be a text area. Now I'm going to first tell you about the tags, then we're going to build a certain form. Yeah, another one can be a text area. Sorry, it is text area, like that. Yeah, then when we check, you can see it is this one. It is bigger than the text box. A text box is where just you type one information, maybe a name, maybe the password. Yeah, but for a text area, it is actually big. You can type in more information. Maybe you're typing a message. Yeah, so that's called a text area. Yeah, and many more as we're going to see. Yeah, so right now, let's create a login form. Okay, not a login form. We're going to create a form that asks a lot of information from someone. Yeah. First of all, you may need some heading. Now, in case you want to come up with, let's say you want to beautify or to draw a line around, a border around, you can use a tag called field set. Yeah, it's called field set. So you're going to write everything within the field set. If we check, yeah, you see that border, it's going to be around, it's going to be enclosing whatever you're writing within the form. Yeah, so let me go back here. It can take an attribute called legend attribute, and that legend attribute will take a value that is going to be like the title of our form that is being enclosed. So I'm going to call it personal information. Now, there are very many tags that are involved, or there are very many attributes that are involved, but we cannot finish all of them right now. We can just cover a few. So when we go back and check, and we try to refresh, okay, it's not showing yet. Legend. Okay, it's a tag on its own. Okay, let me first try this. It's called personal information. Yeah, like that. So it's a tag, it's not an attribute. It's a tag on its own. Like within, now we've started with a form that is showing that we are creating a form. Then within the form, we want to enclose it with a border around it. So there I use field set to show that my form is going to be enclosed with a border. So in order for you to give a title for that form or for that particular section, you use the legend tag, this one here. So now what we have is this. So all whatever we're going to create is going to be within this boundary. Yeah, so we go back. Now we start creating. So I'm going to start by asking for someone's first name. Yeah, so that one, I'm going to use the input tag. Yeah, so when we go and check, we can see that it is there, already there, but someone can't know what you're asking them for. So you need to add what they call a label. Yeah, so you add a label or just a text before it, but we want it to be enclosed in the label tag. And we can say, what is your name? Yeah, like that. Either you can even add this. So when we go back, now you can see that it is showing what is your name. Then someone can type in the name. Yeah, so we go back. Now there are attributes that make this work better. Yeah. Which attributes are those? Within the input, remember this input, let me separate it well. Yeah, remember this input is our text box, this one here. So we need to be sure, we need to tell a web browser which type of information is it going to receive. Now, why it is working, because by default, it takes what they call text. But you can see, oh, these are the different types of information that can be received. Now we're going to try text, then we shall try password. Okay, if it is text, if I choose text, yeah, and I come back here, it will know that whichever I'm typing is a text. Yeah, but just imagine I just want to show you, if it was password and I come here, it will know that whichever I'm typing is a password and it's going to hide it unless you click on this and it will show. And I'm very sure you've been seeing all this around. So it's just an attribute that tells the web browser that whichever someone is typing is a secret and doesn't need someone else to see it. Yeah, but for now, our name, or like first, let's call it full name. Let's go, what is your full name? Yeah, what's your full name? It's going to receive text. So we leave the input type to be text. Now, in order for you to connect this label, now you can see when I come here and I click on the label, it can't take me to where I have to type the name. In order for me to do that, I have to come back here and I put an attribute called for. Yeah, so it's kind of saying this label is for. Yeah, so this label is for this input, but we need to connect them together. How do we connect them? We use an attribute called ID. So whichever ID you call here is what you put up the other side, like here. If I put name, it is what I'm supposed to put here in for. So it is saying that this label is for whichever element that is having ID of name. And this is this input box. So when I come back here and I click on this, now you can see it is taking me to input my name, my full name. Even if I click here, it activates this. But before this, before putting this, maybe I disconnect it. When I come here, now when I click, it's not going the other side, it's just highlighting. So it is very important that someone will come here, what is your full name? When they click here, it takes them directly to this. Yeah, so it's what we're doing. Yeah, name. Okay. Yeah, now I'm taking some time for the first one to explain very well, because I'm going to be rushing through for the next ones because they are going to be a little bit similar. Yeah, so also be attentive very well to grasp this. Yeah, then there are very many other things that this input tag can take, the attributes. One of them is called a placeholder. Yeah, so the placeholder is something that is going to be in that place before someone types. It's not going to be a text, but it's going to be like, it's just guiding them. So I can type in, enter your name, like that. I save, then I check here. Yeah, now you can see that after refreshing, now it is showing me enter your name. But this is not a text. When I click on that and I try to type in my name, like this, you can see that the other one goes away. Yeah, so that is one of them. Another one is called, like, what if I want, like, what if I'm very sure, okay, by default, I'm very sure maybe someone's name, if they don't put a name, at least put user as a name. So that one I can use value, then I put like user. I save and check. So here now, this is a real text, but it is fixed there by default, and it's called user. Now, when I rub it off, now I'll see my placeholder. But in case someone doesn't put their name, in case someone doesn't put like anything, it's going to go with this value, user. Yeah, like that. So those are some of the things that are, those are some of the attributes that are found in the input tag. So we're going to remove this value, then we just go with that. Yeah, so that is one. So we can have, maybe they have given us their name. Now we want them to select like their gender. Yeah, like, what is your gender? So we're going to create what they call a radio button, where you just go and click and it selects. So you have two options, male and female, maybe a third one. Yeah, so there we use what they call radio button, but it is also within the input tag. So within the input tag, you only need to change the type. When you come to type and say is equal to radio, it will know that I'm dealing with the radio button. So when we check, you can see that we've got a radio button here, but it's not pressed very well. So we need to break and it goes down. Yeah, so I'm going to break here by using the break tag so that I can go to the next line like this, BR. I can even do a second one so that I have enough space like that. Yeah, but now here it is selecting, but I can't know what am I selecting. So we need to input labels onto that. Yeah, so I have to come here, put label. Yeah, like we said, say 4. Then you need to put an ID that links these two. Yeah, so here I'm going to call it the first selection to be like male. Yeah, so let me use small letters, male. as an ID. So I'll get to know that this label is for male and the real label is male, like that. Yeah, so now we have male, then we have to also add another one like female. Yeah, so we come and add another one after breaking so that they are on different lines. If you want to put them on the same line, it is okay. All you have to do is now first put this radio button before the label, like this, so that when I'm selecting here, I can know that I'm selecting male. Yeah, so even if we don't break, but we create another input, type is going to be radio 2. Yeah, then the ID here, I'm going to use female just to connect the label to this. Yeah, so here I can put my label. Then I know that this label is for, okay, label. Then I can know that this label is for whichever has an ID of female, and I want it to display female. Yeah, so like that. So now I can select male, female. Now you see, I can't be of two genders at the same time. So we need to find a way in that when someone selects male, it can select female. When they select female, it deselects male. So how do you do that? You come here and add what they call a name attribute on these radio buttons. So I know that this radio button is for male and this one is for female. What adds them is gender, like it's their gender. So I'm going to add name and I call it gender. Then I come to the same here. Also in female, I said name, then gender. So with this, it will get to know that it's kind of like I'm grouping them. Someone can only select one of the two. So when I come and select, I come here, you can see that now it is deselecting the other one. Yeah, so now what is missing is just a simple label, which we can even use like a paragraph. So I can come on top here and I put like a paragraph. There are better options, but let's just use a paragraph. Yeah, no need to worry. Paragraph, and say select your gender, or what is your gender. Yes, like that. So now we can see what is your gender, male. What is your gender, female. Yeah, so radio buttons are used in case you want someone to select one, like one of the choices. Like here, you can either select male or female, not both. Now, there is one that allows you to select many, and that is called the checkbox. Yeah, so checkbox, they also use the same input. Now, for example, I want someone to select their favorite, programming language. Or select your favorite programming language, or select your, let's just do programming languages. So with that, you use input, then here I just put type is equal to, then you put checkbox, like that. So when we try to check, you can see that I'm having checkbox here. So all what is left for you is to put labels, to put labels and add different choices. Yes, so I'm putting the checkbox before, then I put a label. Yeah, so the label can be, let's say this is HTML. Yeah, so here I can say this is 4. And I connect them. It is for HTML. Or let me use small letters, not to confuse you. Here, I can say input type. So here I need to put it as an ID, and I call it HTML, like that. So there, even if someone checks here, it checks. Like even if someone clicks on this label, it checks. But in case you don't use that label tag, when someone clicks here, it can't check. But this one becomes more user-friendly. So you can add as many options as possible. So let me just, I'm just going to copy and paste just to save on time. Yeah, so this one can be for CSS. Use small letters. And I know that it's for CSS. Then the real one is CSS. Control, save. Then you can input some text here. Just, even if you use paragraph tag, no problem with that. You can say what is, select your favorite programming languages. Or you can put the S in bracket to show someone that either they can select one or two. Yeah, and select one or two. Or I can even add as many as possible here. Just that now I'm saving on time, but we can add many. So this is the one that allows you to multiple select. If you want someone to select only one choice, then use a radio button. So here I can call it Java. I can use JavaScript. Okay, just Java. Java is also a programming language, though not like HTML. It's not a markup language, it's a programming language. Yeah, so someone can select either CSS and Java, or HTML and CSS, or only Java. Yeah, so that is checkboxes. Now let's cover another tag or another type of input. Yeah, we go back here. Then that type is going to be a drop down. Maybe someone is, okay, let's first cover this one. You want someone to select their favorite color. Yeah, so we're going to, you can use label, but let me just use a paragraph. Okay, let me just use a label. It's better. Label. Then I'm going to say it's for color. So I'm going to input, yeah, it's for color, or I call it colors, just to distinguish. Now here I'm going to go to input. Then I put type is equal to color. So here it's going to bring a color picker. A color picker is where someone can select a color. So I can say choose your best color. Yeah, then I go back. Yeah, now I can see that I need to first break a bit, separate them, break. Yeah, like that. Choose your best color. When I click here, now I can select around any color that I want. Now, in case you know color codes are generated from what they call red, green, and blue. So that is RGB. So the intensity runs from 0 to 255. So in case my red is full, like 255, and there is no green and there is no blue, so that is a red color, like that is a pure red color. Now, in case I have red and green to full intensity, that is yellow. It makes yellow. Yeah, so maybe I have red mostly, but with green and blue, I have 100. Yeah, so now you can see that I'm getting closer to pink. So that is one way, or you can just use this. You can see that the RGB is changing. So it's not only RGB, you can even use what they call HSL. Yeah, these ones, it's not easy unless you've been using like some softwares like Photoshop. H means hue, S means saturation, and L means lightness. Yeah, this one is about degree. The degree of the color runs from 0 to 360. Then saturation runs from 0 to 100%. Then also lightness runs from 0 to 100%. Yeah, so if I put 100, and here I have 0, then it's going to give me pure white. Yeah, that's if I'm using HSL. Now, that one is a little bit complicated. Don't mind it. You don't even have to cram those colors. They are always available online. Then another color type is called hexadecimal. Now these ones are grouped into a group of 3. The first 2 letters are, they denote red, then the second 2 denote green, then the last 2 denote blue. That is the RGB. Now there you just have to go and learn about how do you turn the intensity into like hexadecimal. Yeah, so they run from 0. Here you can have mixed letters, not only like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can even also have A, B, C, D, E, F. So you just need to go and learn about that. For example, if I put red to be full, like this means highest intensity is F. FF is the highest intensity. So if I put these ones and I put them as 0, 0, like that, now that means I have red to the maximum and my blue is on lowest intensity and my green is on lowest intensity. So that is red. If I need black, I'm going to remove all the colors like that. But don't overworry about this. You can always revisit it, or you just go to Google. You just go to Google and search about color picker or color palette. Then you find different colors and you're able to just copy their color codes. Yeah, so that was input type color. There are very many things. I can come here, input type. Now I'm going to show you the different types because now we don't have time to go through them. Button, we're going to look at it. Date allows me to select a date. So you don't have to reconfigure a calendar. You already have it here. Just save this. I come here. Now you can see that I can type in the month, the day, and the year. Or click on this and I get a calendar. With just that, you don't have to write a lot of complicated. Before HTML5, not on HTML5, but some years back, we couldn't do that because this is not easy to have like a dynamic calendar. Here you have the whole calendar, the entire calendar here. It's not easy. It's actually so cool. Another one can be, we can come here to, let me first break. I'm just trying to show you how forms can be very, very important. They save you to write a lot of code. Yeah, we can have date time. The time will allow you to select date and the time. So this one here, let's see. Okay. Let's just continue with others. Apart from input, we have text area. Yeah. So what if someone wants to type a particular message, a very huge message apart from just the text box? So we can put a big text area here. Then this one let's first look at it. The way it looks like this. So inside here, as someone is typing, it generates this until someone increases it. So what you can do, you can type the rows, the number of rows here. I can say I'm giving it 10 rows. So by default, when it loads, it will load with 10 rows, 10 possible rows. So as someone is typing the information, it gives them 10 rows. Then also you can add columns by typing like that, and maybe you want it to have 5 columns. So this is about sizing it. You see where 5 stops? Yeah, I can go and add. It just increases on the width. So I can give it 10. I save it and I check it. Now it has increased. Yeah, so let me first go here. I need to break more to get some good space. Yeah, like that. So this is a text area. It allows someone to type in. So we can increase columns a bit so that it becomes larger. Then you can create a label for it. You know now how they create labels. So I can say label. Then I say it is for message. Let me just say this is for sending a message. Yeah, then I have to come here in ID and I call it message, just like what I've called what is about there. Yeah, so let's first save it. We've not put the label, so send us a message. You can say send us a message. Save it and check. Now you can see it is there. When I click on this text, it takes me to this. Yeah, now putting it down, that one involves CSS, which we're not going to cover right now. Yeah, so we're going to cover just one more. Then we look at the button, and that will be it for today. Yeah, so there is another one which allows you to select from many. I'm going to put it here before the text. For example, someone is selecting let's say their day of birth, like in a week, someone is selecting that. So that one we use what they call select. We use select tag. So after breaking here, yeah, I'm going to type select. That's select tag. Then it takes inputs called options. So whichever options you have is what you put here. For example, I have a Monday option. I have another option for Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to look at it here. Now you can see this is how it looks like. Yeah, so someone is asking, do you need data while doing this? I think maybe you meaning internet. You don't need internet as you're coding this. There's nothing connected to the internet. It is like as I'm writing code, there's nothing it's getting from the internet. You don't need internet. Yeah, so that is select. We can add as many options as possible. Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Friday. Thursday. Save this. Then now you know we have to just create a label. You can create a label for this. And the label is going to be select your week. Okay, your day of birth. Maybe just in a week. So label, it will be 4. Then we have to create them. So it can be days. Then we come here at select and put ID is equal to days. Yeah, like that. We come back here. So you can see when I click on this, it highlights this. Now, in case you want it to be like blank before someone selects, there you create an empty option. Yeah, but you leave it empty. Like option, but leave it empty. Check it here. Now you can see that nothing is selected until someone clicks on this. Yeah, there's what they call option group that can group. Maybe you have a very big like list to select from. Yeah, but we're not going to cover it. We have very limited time. Then instead of using this, there's what they call a data list, which is very, very important. We shall maybe look at it when we reach on CSS. Instead of using select, you can use data list. A data list is very important because you see, whenever you go to select your country, there's a way you can connect to a server that has a list of all the countries. So you don't have to type all the countries the way we're typing this. You don't have to type that. You just have to show that, please, the list of countries is found here. And for you, just write like one line of code and all the countries will be shown. Yeah, so we shall look at data list. Then now lastly, what we're looking on forms is called buttons. Now, as you can see that this information, someone is giving us information, but they have to submit it. So we shall need a button they place, and it is their information is submitted. Yeah, so we're going to come back here. Then that one is also by input. Yeah, so you just come type and say it's a button. Yeah, so before you can see that the button is there, but really it's not positioned well and is very small. So all we need to do is we first break here, break. Yeah, so that is a button. So if it is a button for submission, then its type is submit. So that's type submit, so that it's known that that is a submit button. A submit button is different from other buttons. Why? If someone enters all the information here and they tap enter on their keyboard, it's going to go to that submit button. So in case you have other buttons around your website and someone clicks enter, it's going to go with the other submit button. So it's only the submit button that you should call type submit. Then others, you can model them as buttons. So when someone taps enter, it doesn't affect those other buttons. It only affects the submit button. So other things we can add here, we can move the word submit and we replace it with send your message. We use that by using a value attribute. Yeah, so now it is having send your message. Now, about how to position it to the last end, what should it display when someone clicks on it, where the information should be submitted. Now that one involves some kind of for just like placing it where it should be, that one needs CSS, which we're going to cover next, starting from Monday. Then for where the information is to be saved, that one involves programming with either PHP, JavaScript, and any other language, but mostly PHP and JavaScript, or sometimes Java. Yeah, so with HTML, for it at least you're able to create that impression that someone can get to know that they are sending a message. Yeah, so this is where we're going to stop on HTML forms. But this is not the only thing you can do with HTML forms. There are very, very, very many things that you can do with HTML forms. There are very many tags that I've not covered. There are very many attributes that I've not looked at. Yeah, so I hope you've been following very well. I want you to go and try them out. You go on Google and search about like HTML, just put HTML forms tags and go to any result. Even if the first one, the second one, you'll be able to find all the information that you need. And you should be practicing a lot. Otherwise, if you just read and think you've understood, no, that's not the way it works. You can see me doing it here and you see that it is working out. Try it by yourself and see whether it is working out. Good enough, you can now even use your phone. You can use your laptop in case you have. If you don't have a laptop, you can use a phone. So I don't think you have any excuses for not practicing. Yeah. Other than that, you're going to end here. Maybe let's just have 1 minute to receive some closing remarks from Mr. Adrian. Yes, Mr. Adrian, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you so much for the very good insight that you've enlightened us on. Yeah, most of these things and more you can find. We need more research. Don't just rely on whatever we just give you. You can go ahead and try out a few things here and there, because basically when you're doing, or when you're dealing with websites, every time you try to design something, there's something new that comes up. So it's about the practice that you have that make you kind of used to the different tricks that are there. And I would like to tell you that even up to now, like when I'm developing something, I realize that every time there's something new that I need to learn, or there's something new that, there's a better way of doing things. So whatever we're giving it, just like a hint. Please go ahead and try to do more research about these things, try them out, because just looking at someone doing it, don't think that you can actually do it, because you can actually try to do it and the code fails. You try to do everything that the person has done and somehow it fails. So if it fails, that's a good thing. Try to find out why it has failed. And by you doing that, you are learning more that next time if it fails, you know where to go. Yeah, maybe apart from that, thank you so much for attending. Yeah, see you next time.
All right. Thank you. Good night to everyone. We meet again tomorrow.
Good night.